thing I've ever known for sure in my life is that I wanted to be on the first mission to Mars.
I played an astronaut then too, but a different type of astronaut.
Was it a coincidence, or do you have this kind of proclivity to being in space or being in the air or far away from earthly stuff?
I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, where the stars are so bright when it's not raining at night. I think just the idea of like the unknown and exploration is just something that's exciting to me. But I wasn't like into sci-fi, and I wasn't into Martians and things like that. It was just really something that's like bigger than all of us that I think took my attention even at that young age.
How do you produce emotions of a character who goes through an experience that no other human being has been through?
Just try and empathize, you try and put yourself in their shoes, just break the character down. And I try and understand where they're coming from and what their fears are and what their hopes are, and kind of read between the lines on the humanness within them and what connects us all, really.
How much did you invest in learning the science behind the mission to Mars? And how much did that contribute to you delivering the performance and the emotions?
I think one of the most important parts of my preparation was meeting with real astronauts, people who have experienced it and have an understanding of what it entails to get into space, getting to really understand kind of firsthand from them what their experiences were like and what that felt like for them, and all the work that went into it was definitely very instrumental in the preparation for the role. Playing an astronaut did come with its fair share of physicality, and a big part of that was pretending that being in zero G was effortless when it took a ton of effort. We were being suspended by the very lowest part of our hips, and they were acting like a pendulum. So when you'd squeeze your glutes, you'd go forward, and when you squeeze your abs, you'd go backwards. But it took so much effort to lay flat or do a spin with your abs or your glutes. And then also just floating and not slowing down your voice, because immediately you want to talk slowly. And that's clearly not what happens in zero gravity when you're in space. Physically, I would say it was more challenging than I thought it was going to be, doing 10 hours, which was 6 months of filming while constantly floating around on wires.
It's 20 million miles from the people she loves. She needs to know that her family's taken care of. I got it covered. Do you?
They need me more than anyone, and I'm not there.
I often hear from actors like yourself that the most challenging aspect of their job is being away from their families. Did that resonate with you playing Emma's character?
100%, because I would say for the most part, when people are like, oh, where do you live? I say on a plane, because we're usually traveling, to some far off place here and there in order to tell a story or to do press to tell the story out there. And I've come to really know and understand that that's my way of life. And I like to travel. And so that works well for me, but there's definitely sacrifices that come with it. So you do have a deeper understanding of what these characters are experiencing on a small level.
But do you go through the same crisis that she went through, trying to decide between her job and her family?
No, not quite to the same extent. I mean, look, when my dad needed a lung transplant, it was a no-brainer for me to stay at home and take care of him. But it wasn't at the expense of, having to let go of a dream.
That's the conflict in the show. You try to think, was she irresponsible for leaving her family behind? Or was it heroic of her to sacrifice her family for that great, ambitious goal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think it's something that comes easily, and it's something that you see her struggle with.
I didn't come here to fail. I look that way. You're looking in the wrong direction.
You have to trust me. Trust, it must be earned, Commander.
We're all scared, but it's about having faith in each other.
Interestingly, it's not merely about a mission to Mars. I felt the show was about the meaning of life. Mm-hmm. Celestial ambitions with terrestrial responsibilities, job versus family. How did you see it?
I see it exactly the same. Like you said, we're here on this earth. And I think finding and living our purpose is super important. You know, it's what we're all striving to do, but we also all want to give and receive love. That's a human quality. So the thing about the show is that we have all these different ethnicities. We get to see that, like, when you break it down and you get underneath it, that human connectiveness, that tissue makes us all want to have no regrets and live our fullest purpose, really.
The fact that we've been, or maybe we learned thanks to COVID, filling our time. This one, you've done it before COVID. Did it help you in filling your time with something meaningful while stuck in quarantine?
I think it's definitely been, a roller coaster ride, and definitely has put things back into perspective of what's important, of health and family. And, it makes you definitely grateful when those things are there in your life.
We haven't done anything nearly as dangerous as what we're about to do.
Mom, I love you. Why did you have to do this?
We will return home.
Would you recommend going to Mars for humanity?
Yeah, I think that we have a lot to learn from exploration of other planets and of space, about our own planet.
You took this journey. If you were given the opportunity, would you really go to Mars?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not my passion, and 3 years away for something that is not your passion, where you have a 50-50 chance of living, is probably not the best statistics. I'd go to the moon, though. You're a brain. You could be an astronaut.
No, I trust your opinion and your judgment. I'm not going to go. I'm convinced.